Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today we're going to talk about the Profile 2.5 in human design. And if you haven't already, please feel free to check out my other videos where you can find out more about human design and how it can help in your life. So let's get started and explore some of the characteristics of somebody with a Profile 2.5. The profiles are made up of 6 different lines, and there's 12 different combinations of the profiles. That means that everyone has one of these profiles, and it's based on the date and time of birth. The profiles change throughout the day, so somebody born on the same day as you may not necessarily have the same profile as you, because the time of their birth is different than yours. The profiles are already calculated for you, so you don't have to worry about trying to figure out that yourself. In human design, the profiles talk about our character and how we operate in the world, and add one more dimension of the information the body graph can give. I've already done videos on how the profile lines act alone, and today we're going to see how they act together. And if you want more information, you can check out the videos I've already done. The profile lines come from the conscious and unconscious sun in the body graph. The first number is always going to be the conscious sun, and the second will be the unconscious sun. So when we talk about the profiles, people might feel they connect more with the first number than they do with the second, depending on their age. Because after the age of 40, more people will become aware of their second number, also called their unconscious number. But just because someone's not aware of it doesn't mean it doesn't exist in their personality and character. Ultimately, both profile lines are equally important. So what does it mean to have a 2.5 profile, and how does it affect your character? The Profile 2.5 is made up of the lines of the Hermit and also the Heretic, also called the Teacher. When someone has the second line in their profile, that's usually somebody who likes to be alone, and they can also be shy. And when it's combined with the line 5, this can be somebody who likes to hide out until they're called out into the projection field. And usually when they're called out, they've mastered what they've been doing while they were hermiting. So when they've been called out, they will share or universalize all that they've learned. The 2.5 is considered a less common profile of all profile types. And based on the Jovian Archives information, the 2.5 profile only makes up about 2.27% of all other profiles. The 2.5 profile is a completely projected profile, and it's also a rare profile that has complete harmony. The 2 part of the profile likes to hide out, and the 5 will hide out too, and usually they'll hide out when they've had a bad experience in their projection field, meaning that they're not seen for who they are and what they can offer, and because of this, they're blamed for not knowing the answers that they're supposed to be able to know, even if they've never told anybody that they actually know the answers. But the thing about the 2 energy, it's like a vortex that draws people in. So when they're alone and hiding out, people are still coming to their door and calling them out to find out more information. But because of the possible bad experiences in the past, these people can be quite hermetic and not want to come out, because they're not sure what people will expect of them. But when somebody who carries a 2.5 profile is called out into the correct projection field, then they can do their job and share with the world the things they've universalized and the concepts and ideas that they feel compelled to want to share. And what they share will be something that they've been studying all along when they've been hermiting away. Somebody who carries a 2.5 profile can be noticed everywhere they go. And since the 2 is a conscious part of their personality, this can make them feel uncomfortable. The 5 also has a seductive energy, which means that people are seduced by the 5 energy into finding out more about the information that the 5 energy wants to share. But in this profile, it's completely unconscious until after they're a little bit older, after age 40 or thereabouts. What somebody who carries the 2.5 energy wants to share with everybody is usually something that's related to the other parts of their chart. Since all types can carry the 2.5 profile, how does it feel for each type who carries this profile? When a manifestor carries a 2.5 energy, it can sometimes be a little difficult, because a manifestor is here to initiate and not to be told what to do. So it's a weird feeling for them when they're called out by people. And when they're called out into the projection field, a lot of times they can be blamed for not being able to do what they're expected to do, which can happen with the 5 energy. But the trick with this energy is when a manifestor is called out into the projection field, they can decide what they want to do, if they want to share something or not. And if they do decide that they want to share, then the best experience for them will be if they actually inform before they start sharing, so people understand exactly what they're giving. A projector carries a 2.5 energy. They're called out into a projection field just like all the other types. But the difference here is when they're called out into a projection field, or in their case invited out into a projection field, they can decide whether or not they want to share what they know. And if the invitation isn't something that they want to do, then they can decide that they don't want to do that. And doing that will keep them in the right projection field so that they won't have issues with being blamed for things that they did or didn't do. And because a projector doesn't get invitations all the time, they're usually for the big things in life, it's important for a projector to be really clear on what they want to do rather than just jump on board because they've gotten an invitation. And as I always do, I'm going to group the generators and the manifesting generators because they're the same type. So if a generator type has this type of 2-5 profile energy, they're called out into projection field. And it's still their choice whether or not they want to be called out and share what they want to share with that projection field or not. It can be a good profile just like it can be a good profile for a projector because they're getting something to respond to, and a projector gets something to be invited into. And if a generator type decides to respond to the projection field they're called out into, they can do what they're supposed to do by universalizing and sharing the information that they know. If a reflector carries a 2-5 profile, they can be called out into projection field just like the other types. With them, it's better to wait for their moon cycle so they know that the opportunity in the projection field that they're called out into is correct for them. And as always, a reflector gets called out into the projection field that is part of their community so they can share and universalize information about their community. Knowing your profile is just a small part of the information that the body graph will show you, but I'm going to stop here for now and let you digest what I've just talked about. And be sure to check out my other videos where you can learn more and more about the body graph and how you can use it in your life, because the more you know about yourself, the easier life gets.